just going to do a series of reviews of this book, and if I hold it up here, it'll be back to front, but it's too complicated to try and spin the camera around. Sorry, and I forgot to close my eye because I've got a red eye, and but if I put sunglasses on I won't be able to read from my iPad. But anyway, it's this book, Empire of Normality by Robert Chapman, and it's a really excellent book, and I should just be reading, well, paraphrasing or actually reading direct quotes, but because I'm neurodivergent myself, I've not always indicated where, so you'll have to excuse. So it's most of it is quotes, and if it's my own words I will try and remember to say so. But so in this book he's actually looking at it's about neurodiversity through a Marxist lens, and Chapman found the analysis of class domination illuminating, and argued in the book that we need a similar approach to neurodiversity. And so he goes right back into the history of what led, the different approaches to health, and right up until the challenge, the autism activism in the 1990s, and from to the present day. So I shall just look at up until a certain point today, and then I shall carry on doing other readings. But so he outlines, so he goes back and looks at health through the ages, and he began in saying in ancient Greece there was a harmonious view of health until Descartes and the rise of machines. So for instance, Hippocrates showed there was some similarity with contemporary medicine. In ancient Greece, health and disability were incorporated into daily life, and there's archaeological evidence showing temples and ramps, whereas in ancient Egypt there was more of a moral view of disability, which was viewed as punishment by the gods. And then Chapman goes on and talks about how we use means, as in averages today, for things like heart rate and lung capacity, and these would have been alien in Hippocrates' time. So these measurements were more used for harmony and proportion, but not for normal functioning. So many traditions see health in terms of harmony and equilibrium. In Hippocrates' time they were called humours, but also in things like Ayurvedic medicines and other ancient medicines, harmony and equilibrium within the individual was what was looked at, or between individual and the environment or community. And it remained about harmony until the rise of colonialism and capitalism. I shall just mention about the Descartes and a bit about, I'll just go on as far till I see a natural break. So with the Enlightenment, a new age of reason and observation, Descartes saw the dualism between body and mind, and he likened the body to machines, like a clock. So the body was confined to what could be studied objectively, whereas the idea of mind and an immortal soul was more abstract. And he saw the body as a complex machine made up of smaller mechanistic parts which could be broken and therefore fixed with the right knowledge. So Descartes' ideas were considered outrageous at the time, and most doctors were still working within the Christian tradition. So Descartes' philosophy was declared as heretical, but eventually paved the way for modern medicine. Now, I don't know how to pronounce this person, because I've heard of most of these people who I'm reading about, and I study because I did a degree in psychology, but Chapman describes, this is Adolf Quetelet. Anyway, this person, whose name I can't pronounce, who I hadn't heard of, paved the way for later work in medicine, criminology, psychology and eugenics, which still impacts our lives today. So Quetelet, I think he's from Belgium, wrote the groundbreaking book The Average Man in 1835. And by man he means man, I think. And of course the Gaussian curve, which was named after Gauss. A lot of us would have heard of that if we studied psychology or statistics. So Gauss would look at where there were errors and, you know, where there were deviations from the norm. So there were new statistical and quantitative methods to just about everything from then onwards, allowing new ways of organising and improving society. Galton, the founder of psychometrics and behavioural genetics and eugenics, developed many of the experimental methods. Galton's paradigm remains largely dominant to this day and has been used to legitimise the neuronormative domination of capitalism. Galton compared hereditary details across a range of individuals, family trees and races, and he ranked white upper-class Europeans and the ancient Greeks at the top, and black Africans and indigenous Australians at the bottom. Women, who Galton thought were unlikely to be geniuses, did not appear in his rankings at all. Hence his book essentially functioned to naturalise the radicalised, abled economic and gendered hierarchies of the British Empire. That's a direct quote. Galton found the field of behavioural genetics to suggest that a species could regress if not properly controlled. And I shall go on to talk about psychiatry in the next one, which is, there's a lot of about the history of psychiatry, which I am very much aware of, having studied psychology. But this has been rather long, but I just thought it's very interesting, and I'll break it up into parts and hope there's something of interest there, and that, you know, but probably better than that, read the book. Thank you. Bye.